philosophy to meet business objectives by reducing variation. Six Sigma is a disciplined data-driven methodology, the DMAC methodology, for decision making and process improvement. You can, to improve the process performance, we need to decrease the variation and defects. See, why we must decrease variation to reduce the defect? Let us say I produce a product in which dimension is an important criteria. I hope all of you know dimension. Let us say length of the product is a dimension. Let us say the length required is 100 mm. I produce every day 1000 units I produce, or every shift I produce 1000. What is the customer requirement here? What is the customer requirement? Length should be equal to 100 mm. When I produce 1000 units, do you think all 1000 units will have exact 100 mm? I'm not getting your answer. Customer,
no, sir, there would be a variable.
There will be variation. Very good. Some items will be above 100, some items will be below 100. If you actually collect the data, visualize the data, it will be like in the shape of a bell. It will be in the shape of a bell. That is why I told you knowledge on normal distribution is important. Whenever the data visualized, whenever you visualize the data, if it looks like a bell shape, you can understand your process is following normal distribution. All your height, when I visualize, it will look like a bell shape. Am I right? And all your weight, when I plot a graph, it will look like a bell shape. 95% of the process in the world will follow normal distribution only. Just by learning one single distribution, which is called normal distribution, you can solve 95% of the problem in any industry. That is why we are going to teach you statistics. We are going to teach you normal distribution, right? You become excellent problem solver. Look here, this process operates like this, a wider bell. Whereas this process, a narrower bell. Which is good? The narrower one is good or the broader one is good? Good. What is your opinion?
Narrow one.
Narrower. Because the center line is the average. And here, when it is broader, many points are away from the center. Or you can call it as target also. Right? Many of your outputs are away from the target when your process is wider. But when your process is narrower, everything is close to the center. And if the center is the target, all your products will be close to the targeted value. When the process is wider, we consider the process as less capable. When the process is narrower, we consider the process as highly capable. A highly capable process will have higher sigma level. We'll teach you what is sigma level slightly later. So what we are targeting here is we are reducing variation. A process like this into a process like this. A wider process is converted into a narrower process. And that means everything your process produces will be accepted by the customer. Because everything is around the average and average is around the target. So a customer will like everything. The Six Sigma means less waste, less rework, reduced cost, greater predictability and consistency, and as a result, happier customer. Do you understand here everything in this slide? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Very good. So, in order to use Six Sigma to solve any real-time problem, you must convert the real-time problem into a statistical problem. A real-time problem should be converted into a statistical problem. What is a statistical problem? Express your problem in the form of numbers. Express your problem in the form of numbers. If you can't express your problem in the form of numbers, take it granted from me, you have not understood the problem. If you have not understood the problem, you are not going to solve it, right? So every real-time problem must be converted into a statistical problem. And for the statistical problem, statistical solution exists. Statistical solution is converting a wider process into a narrower process. Converting a wider process into narrower process is nothing but reducing variation. When I convert a wider process into narrower process, no, all my products will be accepted by my customer. All my products will have great quality. So this approach is called Six Sigma approach. This is the foundation of Six Sigma. If you cannot express what you know in numbers, you do not know much about it. If you do not know much about it, you cannot control it. If you cannot control it, then you should be at the mercy of God to get your problem solved. If you want to get your problem solved by yourself, then you should be able to express your problem in the form of a number, right? And this is the methodology recommended by Motorola, recommended by Dr. Michael Harry and Bill Smith. And this is what you are trying to master. And now coming into the methodology, define. Why we have a phase called define? A problem is considered to be defined if you understand the why. What is why? The dependent variable. The pain metric. Can you make the pain metric measurable? If you make the pain metric measurable, your problem is defined. For example, I want to improve my health. I want to improve my health. Now tell me, can any one of you able to help me? What is my requirement? What is my problem? I am saying that I want to improve my health. Come on, yeah, some of you can interact with me now. If I want to improve my health, will you be able to take any action?
Exercise and eat healthy.
Exercise.
Healthy diet should be maintained.
Okay, exercise and eat healthy. But I have not communicated my problem at all. What did I say? I said, I want to be healthy. Now immediately you started prescribing, some solution.
Must consult a doctor.
First of all, if you are a doctor who wanted to help your patients, as a doctor, you must understand the customer's problem correctly, isn't it? You must talk to the customer. Let him first explain the problem. Everybody want to be healthy. That means it doesn't mean everybody should take medicine. Then you must ask the customer, hey, what is the health problem? Then I will say, sir, I am obese. I am overweighing. My weight is 85 kg. I want to reduce my weight from 85 to 75. The moment I say overweight is the problem, my problem is defined. Am I correct? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So always you have to make measurable. When I say my weight is the problem, my weight is measurable. When I say my BP level is the problem, my BP level is measurable. When I say my sugar level is the problem, sugar level is measurable. And sugar level, tell me, sugar level, is it a Y variable or X variable? Come on. Sugar level, is it a Y variable or X variable?
X.
What is the meaning of X variable? You can control it directly. Will you be able to control your sugar level?
No, sir.
You can control it, but not directly. You can't set it by yourself. Probably by eating healthy foods, you can control your sugar level. So healthy foods are X variable. You can control it. You can decide what to eat and what not to eat. Sugar level is a result of what you eat and then how do you maintain your daily routine. So if you make the problem measurable, define is done. You should thoroughly understand about the Y variable, right? Bigger the Y, easier the how. So everything about the problem should be understood in the define phase, then measure phase. Now you must measure the problem. You want to understand whether the problem is really bigger or it is smaller. As I already mentioned, bigger the why, easier the how, right? So how big is the problem? What is the baseline performance of our company? You understand in the measure phase. In the measure phase, what you need to take care is you need to take care of the measurement error. If you measure wrongly, then your understanding about the problem will go wrong. If understanding about the problem goes wrong, then solution will automatically go wrong. So having defined the problem, having measured the problem, you can proceed with the analysis. You can proceed with the analysis. Now, what is analysis? Analysis is nothing but identification of the critical factor. What is analysis? Identification of critical factor. Not only identification and validation of critical factor. A validated critical factor is nothing but the root cause. Identifying the root cause is not enough. Validating the root cause is important. Imagine a crime has happened and you found the criminal. You found the culprit. You are producing him in the court. Do you think the judge will believe you?
Evidences.
Even if you catch the culprit, produce him in the court, judge is not going to believe you. Judge will ask for evidence. Same way. Even when you identify the root cause, companies and your boss may not believe you. You should be able to validate the root cause. So the root cause validation procedure is a statistical procedure which is called hypothesis testing. Which is called hypothesis testing. You must master it, and thereby the root cause can be proved. Once the root cause is proved, you can take action. What is action or treatment? Fix the root cause. In order to make your coffee sweeter, you fixed the sugar quantity. In order to keep your strongness of the coffee, you fixed the coffee powder quantity. Same way, the root causes X1, X2, X3 should be optimized. If you optimize X1, X2, and X3, that is called improve. Now the problem is solved. Now what you need to do is you just have to control the root causes X1, X2, X3. Why I should control the root cause? Because the root causes only caused the problem Y. If I control the root causes, my Y will no longer be a problem. This is called control phase. So we started with Y and ending the project by controlling the X. This is called learning. This is called experience. This is called maturity. All of you now understand how the DMAC is working? I need a quick.
Yes, sir.
It rarely comes, right? And now the whole training program is learning the 5 phases: define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. And we make the learning process, a very simple one and a pleasurable one. Every phase is converted into 3 simple steps. So there are 5 phases multiplied by 3 steps in each phase. So totally how many steps? 15 simple steps. If you learn the 15 simple steps, master the 15 simple steps, you can execute project effortlessly in any company. First step, generate project ideas. Nothing but problem identification. Nothing but project identification. Starting from how to identify the project, then select the projects. Why is a project selection? Because so many problems exist in any company. So you need to select. Once the problem is selected, you have to create a complete plan. Finalize project charter and high-level process map. This is the important deliverable from the define phase. For you to perform this each and every step correctly, you will be taught the tools and techniques to execute each and every step. Thereby, you produce the deliverables from every step. If every step delivers result, the project will also deliver result, right? And measure phase, finalize the why and validate the measurement system and measure the baseline performance. And then analyze phase. Analyze phase, the focus is on identification of potential factor and validation of critical factor. Identify and validate the critical factor. That is the main goal of analyze phase. And then in the improve phase, we are concerned about the solution. You know why we are talking about the solution? We defined the problem, we measured the problem, we analyzed the problem for the root cause, and so now we are really capable of generating the solution, evaluate the solution, then pilot the solution, and then we develop some control plan. We understood that X are the problem, or we understood that X are the root causes. So we will now develop a control system for all the critical X factor. If I control the X, what will happen to my Y? My Y will also be under control. Now I will document the solution and generate a report of the project. Now I will hand over the process back to the process owner and announce the official project closure. This is called the Six Sigma methodology. And if you follow this to fix all the root causes, operational excellence is achievable. So operational excellence is the execution of the business strategy more consistently, more reliably than your competitors, with lower operational risk, lower cost, and leading to increased revenue, right? And doing this, if you actually practice Lean Six Sigma and then drive operational excellence, productivity will improve, quality will improve, deliveries will happen on time, and it is not that easy job. It is monumental task. Everyone's involvement is critical. In a project, whoever participate, everybody should contribute to the success of the project, right? And so there are belt level. White belt is awareness. Yellow belt is an official cadre level, official qualification level. But you can participate in the project, but you need to be guided by green belts. But as a green belt, if you become a green belt, you will be able to lead Six Sigma projects. You will be able to work effectively in the project team. But maybe after joining a company, you can think of a black belt. The black belt will handle a project, a complex project, cross-functional project, and the black belt, as I already told, generally they are 1 out of 100. And master black belt or kind of internal consultant who will work very closely with the top management, and then they develop the KPIs and metrics for the company. And it is the master black belt who will train the employees in the company on black belt and green belt body of knowledge. And champions and sponsors are nothing but the leadership roles. The top management of the company should approve your project, and they are called the project sponsor. One who actually provides the resources for the time-to-time execution of the project is called the champion. All participation of all these people in a project is very, very important, because everyone has got certain responsibility, and everybody should play their role according to the expectation. Thereby, a project can be completed in 3 months or 4 months, and then results can be produced. So these are the modules. As an yellow belt, you need to know. These are the modules. As a green belt, you need to know over and above the yellow belt modules. And everything we are ready to teach you, provided you are passionate about learning all these things, right? And at this moment, you don't have to worry about your black belt, because black belts, it becomes your job maybe after securing a position in a company, right? And so many tools you will be learning in Six Sigma, right? In define phase, certain tools; in measure phase, certain tool; analyze phase, improve phase, control phase. And ultimately, we are trying to reduce Mura. Mura means variation. Mura is a Japanese word, right? Which simply means variation. So I would like to stop here, and then